Hi, everybody. Thank you all so much for attending. At this point in time, my attendees, welcome to Middlesex County Virtual College Fair. For those of you that are representatives from universities, you're more than welcome to turn your cameras off at this point and also mute yourselves as I go through some housekeeping items. My attendees, here are some housekeeping items for you just to keep track of while you're attending this amazing fair with some of these amazing institutions. My name is Sibel Rasim. I'm your facilitator for tonight, so I'll be here to help you all out. Now, you may have some great questions for our representatives tonight. So in order to get those questions answered, please use the Q&A button down at the bottom of your Zoom screen. This is a Zoom webinar, so your cameras and your audio is turned off. You are absolutely muted, and the panelists cannot see or hear you, nor can you use the chat at this point. So please make sure that Q&A button is used to type in all of your questions to those presenters at any time. I do ask, though, that when you are asking a question, please make sure to put the university or the college's name in your question so they know exactly what university or college it is for. Other than that, the recording will be available, so all sessions are being recorded and will be on the same page that you registered, and I'll go through some of these items at the end of the presentation as well. So at this point in time, I would like to kick it off, and again, welcome you all so much for being here. Caldwell University, you are up first.
Awesome, thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. All right, so hi everybody, my name is Amber. I am an admissions counselor at Caldwell University, so we'll get started. First, I wanted to go ahead and start off by showing you all the programs that we have to offer, and I highlighted the most popular for you. So nursing is our top major and most competitive because it has a 100% success rate. So anybody that has entered that program so far, they have left with a job. Psychology is our biggest program. It holds the most amount of students. Criminal justice is growing. Education also has a 100% success rate. And then biology and business are also big ones too. So Caldwell is located in Caldwell, New Jersey. It's a private institution. It's also Catholic, and the campus is beautiful. It's in a suburban neighborhood right off of Bloomfield Avenue. So there's a bunch of stores, shops, and public transportation. The campus is small, so it's about 2,200 students total, and that includes undergraduate and graduate students. So that means the class sizes are small. So on average is about 10 students per class. So that means that you get that individualized attention. Caldwell has also been the affordable choice for a lot of our students. 98% of our recent graduates, they're either employed, they're in grad school, they're doing some type of service project. And here are some recent internship placements for our students. And I'm sure you guys can name probably every single company that's on here. And I show you guys this just to let you know that we are a small school, but we still do have connections to some really big name businesses. So some types of individualized support that you get is going to be tutoring. You can literally just walk in on certain days or book an appointment, but it's really easy for you to get because there's not many of you. So you do get that one-on-one attention. You have an academic advisor. There are study abroad opportunities. We have the Office of Accessibility for any type of learning accommodations. And we have the Career Planning and Development Center, and that's where you're going to get those jobs and internships. So as far as tuition, here's tuition to be a commuter versus a resident. And there are plenty of ways for you to cover tuition. One is going to be your FAFSA, where we'll figure out what type of aid you're going to qualify for. That's going to be federal aid, state aid, and institutional aid. And we have tons of scholarship opportunities. Here are some merit-based opportunities. It can be based off of your GPA, SAT, or ACT. That's going to be the Presidential and Caldwell Scholarship. We recently went test optional. So we do have the High School Achievement Award where you just need a 3.0 or higher. We have the Catholic School Scholarship and the Recognition Award for any community service or leadership experience. And lastly, we have a Talent Scholarship for any talent in music or art. We do have 16 NCAA teams, and we are Division II, very competitive when it comes to sports. If you're planning on living on campus, we do have 3 residence halls. We have Mother Joseph, which is traditional style. Dominican Hall is the building that you see in the picture, and that's apartment style, typically for upperclassmen. And then we have Rosary Hall, which is traditional as well, but that building has designated quiet hours. Students can have free parking, freshmen can have their cars on campus. If you live on campus, we do have free laundry. There are literally plenty of things for you to do on and off of campus. And we have an unlimited meal plan. So if you do live on campus, with your meal plan, you can eat as many times as a day. There are plenty of campus clubs and organizations for you to join, and that's going to be a really good way for you to get yourself involved on campus. So some things that have changed because of COVID, for the most part, we're doing a hybrid model. So some students are on campus while others are learning from home, but we're trying to do as much distancing, cleaning, and sanitizing as possible to keep you guys safe. As far as the admissions process, we are rolling admission. So that means you can apply at any time and your application fee is waived. You can do so on a Common App or through our website. Here you'll see the average GPA, SAT, and ACT. And that does say average because most of our majors don't have a specific requirement because we look at our students holistically. And we'll also be looking for that essay and 2 letters of recommendation. I do encourage you to follow us on Instagram at Caldwell_admissions. You can keep yourself up to date on different events. And we also have secret scholarship opportunities on there that you'll only find on Instagram. Definitely visit our website at caldwell.edu/admissions/counselor to figure out who your admissions counselor is going to be and make sure you connect with them because we walk you through the entire admissions process. So if you have any questions, you can email admissions@caldwell.edu. And our phone number is 973-618-3500. And thank you guys so much for watching. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen.
Thank you so much, Amber from Caldwell University. If you have any questions for Caldwell University, down at the Q&A section is exactly where you would ask those questions. Please make sure that you address that it is to Caldwell University. At this point in time, Rosemont College, you are next. So go ahead if you'd like to share your screen. Rosemont College, thank you.
Hi, everybody, and thanks so much for being here this evening. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, but I do have several different talking points that I'm hoping to discuss with all of you. So thanks again for coming out. Rosemont's a small Catholic liberal arts college outside Philadelphia, right behind Villanova University. We have about 400 undergraduate students this year and about 400 graduate students. So we, walk the line in terms of enrollment. Our main majors at the undergraduate level are really business, biology, education, and psychology. Under our biology major, we have a biology track, a pre-health track, and an education track as well. And we have a nursing partnership with Drexel University of 4+1 to get your BSN within 5 years. We also have partnerships in pharmacy and physical therapy with the University of the Sciences in Philadelphia. Both of those are 3+4 agreements, so 7 years in total. And we also have different partnerships with Salus University in Philadelphia as well, in optometry, audiology, and other disciplines. I have some fast facts additionally. As I said, we have about 400 undergraduate students, 394 to be exact. We were founded in 1921, so we're 100 years old this year. We were founded by Cornelia Connolly in the Society of the Holy Child Jesus. We're a private liberal arts college, and we were all female until fall 2009 when our board of trustees approved a plan to go co-ed. At this point, we're still prominently female with a ratio of 63% women to 29% men. And we have a large international population. We have students from 24 states and 11 countries as well. We have 27 undergraduate majors and minors. We have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our average class size, is 18 students. So the professor knows you. I always joke that the professor knows that if you're not in class, so make sure you go to class and you're attentive and seeking help. And within our science programs that I spoke about earlier, we have biology and then a chemistry major that are really popular. And students are able to do at the undergraduate level research that students can only do in master's or PhD programs at other institutions. So that's something we really pride ourselves on. You can build a research portfolio full of academic journal articles and other research as an undergraduate, which isn't the case at a lot of big schools that have most of their graduate student population do that kind of research. 92% of May 2020 graduates of the undergraduate college are employed full-time or enrolled full-time in graduate school, service programs, or the military. So some more fun facts there. We're looking on 58 acres, and we're about 11 miles outside Philadelphia. Many of the professors in the different major areas have experience working in their field of study. So they can help you get internships, even jobs after graduation, which is important. We're about 15, 20-minute train ride from Philadelphia, not too far. So some students do internships during the school year. Other people do them in the summertime, and you can live on campus. We have 5 residence halls. As far as the application process goes, we do have rolling admission. We're on the common application. We also have an individual application that's electronic on the Rosemont website, if that's a better fit for you. And we recommend applying as early in the year as possible, because in August, the window's this big, and then it gets smaller and smaller. Right now we're in February. There still is time, but the earlier the better, especially as crunch time comes up and we get toward that May 1st deposit deadline. We're actually on track. We have a new president this year, and we're on track to double our enrollment. So our enrollment target is 150 students, and we're proud of that. And we're on track to meet that so far. We have double the deposits we had last year, and so far we're right on track. About 43% of our students are student athletes as well. So pretty large athletic population. And we just added a baseball team and women's track. So we are growing our athletic programs as well as our academic majors and partnerships as well. We do offer financial aid to students. Students don't have to apply for merit scholarships separately. They're evaluated for those simply by applying to the college based on SAT scores and GPA. And then students can fill out their FAFSA application to get financial aid opportunities. We'll see what kind of aid you qualify for, and we can help you out in that area as well. Our tuition is pretty steady. It's at $19,500. With room and board, it's about $33,000. And generally speaking, we are affordable, very much so. And you don't have to be Catholic to attend Rosemont either. A lot of people think, oh, it's a Catholic school. You don't have to. About half our student body is Catholic. And our sister Jean Hatch, our vice president of mission, described our culture perfectly by saying Rosemont's as Catholic as you want to make it. So if you are religious, you're welcome to take part in that. If you're not, you can just ignore the religious aspect and focus on the traditional college experience. You do have to take 2 theology courses in order to graduate, but it's about the history of theology and different theories. It's not preaching one religion or another. So I do want to make sure that I'm clear on that point. And it's everything I was hoping to cover. So if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat box. But otherwise, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Wish we were in person, but one day we will be. So.
Thank you, Richard. I definitely 100% agree. I wish we were in person. If you have any questions for Richard for Rosemont College, put it down in the Q&A. Next up, we have Brock University.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So hi, everyone. My name is Karen, and I'm from Brock University, which I think is the only Canadian university in this group of presenters today. I myself am a 2-time alumna of Brock University as well, doing my undergraduate and my graduate degree there. So afterwards, if you did have any follow-up questions about the student experience, anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll pop my email in the chat after I present, and you're welcome to reach out to me afterwards. So just to give you a little bit of information about Brock, so we are considered a mid-size Canadian university. So we do have just over 19,000 students and over 100 different countries represented on campus. So our international students do make up about 13% of our student body. Now we do have over 70 different undergraduate programs to choose from. I'll get into some more details about the different faculties and program options in just a couple minutes. So just to kind of give you an idea of where we're located in Canada. So Brock is located in Southern Ontario. So we are located in the Niagara region. So I know a lot of people, when they think of Canada, they think that we're very, very far up north. But actually, if you look at the map, we're in one of the most southern parts of Canada. We're actually in one of the warmest cities in all of Canada. You can see the temperatures up on the screen there. We do have 4 very distinct seasons. So right now we are in winter. It was about plus 2 degrees Celsius today, but in the summertime, we do have beautiful summers. It goes up to about 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 28 degrees Celsius. So here's a little bit more of a close-up of our location. So as I said, we're in the Niagara region. So we're about 20 minutes away from the Niagara Falls and about 30 minutes north of Buffalo, New York. So we're very, very close to the American border there with New York, and we're about 60 minutes south of Toronto. So if you are flying in, you can choose to fly into the Buffalo airport or the Toronto airport. Those are the closest international airports for us. So you might be asking yourself, why should you study in Canada? And if I do study in Canada, can I go get a job back in the United States, or can I go on to grad school in the United States? The answer is yes. So the majority of universities in Canada are publicly funded. We actually only have 96 universities total in the entire country, and we all have to adhere to very high standards. So luckily for us, this means that we do have internationally recognized degrees, and people do view them at a very high standard. Another reason why American students do look to come to Canada for university is because we tend to be more affordable. So our tuition is about 20,000 American dollars per year, all in costs, including your housing, your healthcare, everything like that is between 30 to 36 US dollars per year, 30 to 36,000. I do want to also mention that you can still apply for FAFSA when you come to Brock. So we are a FAFSA certified school, so that doesn't change. I do want to also mention that we do have a lot of paid co-op opportunities as well, and international students can work part-time during the school year and full-time on your summer break when you are on a study permit. So we did poll all of our international students at Brock, and we asked them why did they choose to come to Brock. So as you can see, the top 5 reasons are on the screen now. So the first reason was safety, both on and off campus. So when you think of Canada, you think of it as a pretty safe country, but we're actually in one of the safest regions in all of Canada, which is fantastic. The second reason is affordable living. So compared to the larger cities, so on average, our 1-bedroom apartments in Niagara is 67% less expensive than living in Toronto. So think of that over the span of your 4-year degree, and that's a lot more money that you're saving in your pocket. Yet we're only about a 60-minute train ride or bus ride away from Toronto. The third reason is our personalized international student support. I'm happy to say that Brock University is ranked #1 in all of Canada for our mental health support services, and we're #2 in Canada for overall student satisfaction. So we do take our support services very, very seriously, and we do definitely want to make sure that you have the support you need to be a successful student. And then the last 2 that I want to touch upon is that all of our programming does offer some form of experiential education. So 100% of our programs offer you either a co-op work term, internship, or other experiential opportunity. And then lastly is that our Brock graduates enjoy one of the highest rates of postgraduate employment in all of Canada, with 96.5% finding work after receiving their degree. So I did want to get into a little bit more about co-op very quickly. So we do have 40 co-op programs offered at Brock. So what co-op is it's the opportunity to get paid relevant work experience while you're still a student. So over a 4-year degree, you'd get a minimum of 12 months of paid work experience directly linked to what you're studying. On average, our students make between 18 to 23 Canadian dollars per hour. So it's also a great part-time job while you're a student. And then lastly, I wanted to quickly go over admissions because it's a little bit different than our friends in the States. So we do have direct applications that are open for September. Overall, we are looking for a minimum of a B average for admissions, but some courses do have specific prerequisite requirements as well as higher admission averages. We will not look at the SAT or the ACT. It's not required whatsoever. Your admissions will be primarily based on your transcripts. We also do not require any letters of reference or personal essays unless you're applying to specific scholarships. So we do have over 70 different programs which you can explore on our website at brocku.ca/programs. And if you did have any follow-up questions, feel free to email us at international@brocku.ca, and I'd be happy to answer the questions. I'll also put our information in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karen. If you have any questions for Brock University, please put them in the Q&A down at the bottom. And please make sure to address what university you are getting a question for. So with that said, we have Washington and Jefferson College up next.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dylan Gerald. I'm Associate Director of Admission here at WNJ. Welcome. WNJ is a small liberal arts institution, and I'll start out with a little bit about our history. We were founded in 1781, so we're the 11th oldest college in the United States. At WNJ, there is a lot of history and tradition here, and we do have a tradition of excellence and of uncommon integrity. Those are really the values that we were founded on. Today, our motto is thriving together because Washington College and Jefferson College at one point merged together right after the Civil War. We have plenty of academic programs, and with about 1,150 students, our student to faculty ratio is pretty low, and most of our classes have less than 20 students in them. Most of our faculty have terminal degrees and experience in their fields of study as well. So you're not learning from TAs or anything like that whatsoever. It's all done by the faculty that have terminal degrees. Again, lots of different majors. I will not read them off to you. But one thing that we really pride ourselves on is the ability to kind of create your own path within your different program. And many of our students will actually double major or have a major, a minor, and a concentration, major and double major, or major and double minor, etc. So lots of different ways to kind of customize whatever your academic journey is. You can also do this through some pre-professional programs such as 3-2 Engineering, which we have 4 different partnerships with. Education teacher certification, which we have 100% pass rate on the praxis. Pre-health and pre-law are what we're really known for, and we have over 90% acceptance rates to all graduate schools for those programs. And then we do have ROTC as well for anyone interested in the military. ROTC includes Army, Air Force, and National Guard. One of the big things that I like to harp on about WNJ is our Magellan Project. That is an independent project that you can complete over the summer and get funded by WNJ to complete any academic work that you want to. So my friend Clara here on the right, she actually went to Spain and Morocco and studied the cultures of immigration in those countries, met with immigrants, refugees, locals, government officials, etc. And then she brought what she learned while she was away back to WNJ's campus and educated some of the campus community about how immigration is treated there. So it was very enlightening for me, especially. In addition to that, we also have several other study abroad options. So we have the Magellan Project, and then we also have your typical study abroad. We have that with like 35 different partners in 20 countries. We're on every continent except for Antarctica. And then we also have J-term, which is our intersession. So our academic calendar will go 4 months, 1 month, and then 4 months. And J-term is that 1 month. It's 2 weeks in January. And those are meant to be travel-based trips. So one of them is a theater tour of London. We've had classes go to all kinds of places and do really interesting things. My favorite one was to Arizona to study the borderlands and how the border is affecting the ecology and also the people that are down there. At WNJ, we have over 70 different clubs and organizations, as well as Division III athletics. We have 26 different teams. If you're interested in playing a sport whatsoever, you can go to gopresidents.com, which is our athletics website, and fill out a recruiting questionnaire. Or you can also contact one of the admission counselors, and we're happy to connect you. Just in general with athletics, we have a long tradition of winning, and we're always at the head of our conference for pretty much every sport. Next thing is about student support, really. So whenever you become a WNJ student, you'll have a couple of different individuals assigned to you to help you transition to college life. One of those will be your academic advisor. You'll also have a current student, which is called your link mentor, and they're a designated friend. You'll also have a student success consultant who's going to help you with that career and professional readiness. And they kind of act like a school counselor at the college level, just to help you from a staff perspective, adjust to college life as well. Here are just a couple of quick facts. I already gave you some, but one that I really want to point out is for the class of 2019, 97% of our students that graduated that year have an internship or have a job in their field or are in graduate school right now. The other thing I want to point out about that is that 88% of those students received some kind of internship or research or some kind of extra experience outside of the classroom. And another important thing is that WNJ actually funds students to go do those things as well. Really quickly, our application's free, it's easy to do, and these are the requirements, and these are the dates. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dylan, from Washington and Jefferson College. If you have any questions for Washington Jefferson College, please put it down in the Q&A section, down at the bottom. If you have any questions or anything for any college or university, put it down at the bottom in the Q&A. At this point in time, we have Cedar Crest College next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Mann, and I'm an admissions counselor at Cedar Crest College. Cedar Crest is a small private liberal arts college located in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We were founded in 1867, and we are a college for women only. So we have around 1,500 undergraduate students, a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio, 40% diversity, average class size of 15 students, and over 40 plus majors. Our classes are very small. Our students are really building those connections with their faculty and staff members, which is one of the things that they think are most memorable about their Cedar Crest experience. This is a complete list of all the academic majors that we do offer at Cedar Crest. I've highlighted the ones that are most popular. So art therapy, criminal justice, all forms of the education department, forensic science, nursing, and psychology. And I'll just kind of put a point out there that we don't have any requirements for any of our programs, and that includes nursing as well. This is a list of our academic minors. Something that I think is really unique to Cedar Crest is that a lot of our students will either double major, they'll major and minor in something. Our students are extremely academically focused, and because they're working so closely with their faculty and staff advisors, they're really able to double major and minor or major and minor in something. Cedar Crest offers what's called a 4-year guarantee, which means that we are guaranteeing our students will graduate within 4 years. If for some reason they do not, and it's the college's fault, the college is willing to pay for the additional coursework that those students need to take outside of their 4 years. In case you aren't familiar with the Allentown area, you can see that Cedar Crest College is located over here. We're part of something called the LVX system, which stands for the Lehigh Valley Association of Independent Colleges, which kind of connects all 6 of these colleges together. So you might recognize some of the names of these other colleges. We're all within a 30-minute driving radius of each other. So Cedar Crest is Division III athletics. We have basketball, cross country, track and field hockey, lacrosse, soccer, softball, swimming and diving, tennis and volleyball. If you have any questions about recruiting, I'll put my information in the chat, or you can email the admissions team in general. In terms of clubs and organizations, we have over 50 clubs and orgs on our campus. Clubs and orgs are a great way for our students to get involved, for you to meet other students that have common interests and build your friend groups, as well as trying new things, learning new things that you like, and branching out into other activities besides just your academic major. Something extremely unique to Cedar Crest is we have a guaranteed study abroad experience. I'll emphasize that this trip is 100% free. It is paid for on the college's dime. So the students will get to go abroad every year. It occurs during their sophomore year, so they refer to it as the sophomore experience. It occurs over spring break, so it's about 7 to 10 days abroad. It is a different location each year. So this year the students are going to Costa Rica. Next year the students will be going to Morocco, and then the current incoming freshman class, the trip hasn't been revealed yet. So it's a great opportunity for our students to get abroad. If you're not sure how you're feeling about going abroad, just getting a little bit of experience for 7 to 10 days with a bunch of your classmates and support of your faculty and staff. It's a great opportunity. And these are just some pictures as well from previous trips. Students have gone to England, they have gone to Greece, and other really cool places. We also guarantee student employment. So whether a student qualifies for federal work study or not, you absolutely can have a job on our campus. We understand that it's really important for students to work during college, whether you just want spending money to be able to go to Target with your friends, or if you need to start paying for your bills while you're in college, you can absolutely work on our campus. This is just a general outline of our first-year student scholarships. Something really cool about Cedar Crest, every student that is accepted is given a merit scholarship. So it will range between $17,000 to $22,000, just depending on your grade point average, your high school transcript, basically your whole package. So those high achieving students are looking at more like the $22,000 presidential scholarship, but everybody is at least receiving $17,000. We're a part of something called the STAR program. As long as a student has a 3.25 GPA, they're automatically qualified for a STAR. What STAR does is it allows the students to attend Cedar Crest for the rate that it would cost to attend their state university. So for in-state students, we're comparing that to Penn State. For our friends in New Jersey, we're comparing that to Rutgers. So like the Penn State rate is a little over 14,000, as you can see. So as long as you have a 3.25 GPA, you will not pay more than the Penn State rate to attend Cedar Crest. For Rutgers, it's a little over 15,000, so you will not pay more than that for your tuition. This is a super unique opportunity. It really allows Cedar Crest, a small private liberal arts college, to be affordable and to be on the same playing field as an in-state school. A little bit about the application process. Our average GPA is a 3.0, but I definitely read applications from students that have 4.0. I read applications from students that have less than a 3.0. So that is just our average. For our high achieving students, we do have an honors program and different scholarships and opportunities for those students as well. Our application is always free. It can be found on our website, or you can apply through the Common Application. It's free on either platform. We require the high school transcript, letter of recommendation, and a personal essay, and then the SAT scores are waived this year, so if a student does choose to submit them, that's entirely up to them. And this is my contact information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. If you have any questions for Cedar Crest College, please put it down in the Q&A down at the bottom. At this point in time, last but not least, I invite University of Massachusetts Amherst to present.
Hi, everyone. Thank you first for having me. I also want to echo that I wish we were together in person, but virtual will have to do. And I'll try my best to do this in the 6 minutes. I talk fast as it is, but 6 minutes is going to go by fast. I can tell by watching everybody. So the first thing I want to do is just kind of do an overview for the University of Massachusetts Amherst. We are the flagship campus for the state of Massachusetts. So we have a little over 24,000 undergraduate students. So I think we might be the largest school here in this grouping. And then we have about 7,000 graduate students. So for a grand total of about 31,000 total students. And we are a top public research institution, which basically means that that tier 1 level we have means that there's a really big focus on research at the undergraduate level. So one of my colleagues mentioned research sometimes being primarily with graduate students, but this tier 1 funding that we have is actually for undergrad students. So that's a really big part of our campus. So if research is something you're interested in, you can definitely take part in that right away as a freshman. We're also number 24 for top public universities in the country. We're located in Amherst, Massachusetts, which is always voted one of the top college towns in the country. We're about an hour and a half to 2 hours from Boston, and then we're about 3.5 hours from New York City. So that can kind of give you a good, good point from where you all are from. And Amherst is always voted, like I said, one of the top college towns in the country. We have over 100 degree programs. I'm going to show you the different schools and colleges in a second. And then we also have over 300 registered student organizations, which are basically our clubs on campus. And then we're Division I for athletics. And my favorite ranking, I'm not a huge rankings person, but my favorite ranking is that we're #1 for best campus dining. We've had that ranking for 5 years in a row. So we're really, really proud of that. We take our food very seriously. If you do get a chance to eat on campus, if you get a chance to visit campus, I highly recommend eating on campus because it's literally the best food in the country. And then kind of a unique fact about us is that we are part of a 5-college consortium, which basically means that we're associated with 4 other schools in our area. And those schools are Smith College, Mount Holyoke College, Hampshire College, and Amherst College. So how the system works is you can take classes at those other 4 schools at no extra cost. It's already included in your tuition. So I always tell students that you're paying for 1 school, but you have access to 5, which is pretty cool. And because we're the flagship campus, most of the other students from the other 4 schools take classes at our school, but you can take classes at any of those other 4 schools. And you can also take classes in your major, not in your major, just for fun classes. So it's a really cool experience. And I also like to bring that up because that really adds to the whole college feel, college town area of Amherst. So when I say we're a college town, I really mean we're a college town. We are truly a college town. We have about 30,000 residents in the town of Amherst. So when the students come back from break or from summer break, you can really feel that the population more than doubles here in Amherst. So it's a really cool place to be. Okay, so I just want to share. Oops, there we go. I just want to share some of the demographics here. I already mentioned a couple of these things, but just so you can kind of get an idea of the different types of students that we have. The main thing that I want to note here is that our campus is a really diverse campus. We have students from all across the country, all over the world. So when I say, I make a point of saying that because that means that you're going to find students who are like you and you're going to find students who are not like you, which is really part of the whole college experience, in my opinion. So you can go through that. I won't read each one, but you can get a sense of the different demographics that we have. And then here are schools and colleges. I mentioned we have over 100 majors, and then we have 10 schools and colleges. So I didn't put all 100 majors up on the slide. That would be very small to read. You can obviously look it up online, but I like to tell students that you can pretty much major in anything you want. You can double major, you can minor. I also want to reiterate that most students don't know what they want to do when they're 17, 16, 17, 18 years old. So if you're one of those students that doesn't know what you want to do, don't worry, you'll figure it out when you're here. But I do like to point out that we do have some competitive majors. So for us, that is engineering, computer science, nursing, and then anything in our Eisenberg School of Management, which are all of the business majors. So those are all a bit competitive. So like I said, if you want to see all the whole list of majors, you want to look that up online on our website, you'll find the whole list. And then in terms of the application requirements, I just want to point this out that this, is a really broad overview, but the main point of this is that we are on the Common Application, and we are we do have a holistic review process. So everything is pretty straightforward. You'll see when you go through the Common App, but we do require your official transcripts from your high school. We require your extracurriculars. The essay is part of the Common App. There's a couple supplemental questions. We do require 1 letter of recommendation. And then we are SAT and ACT optional. We went SAT and ACT optional this year, and we'll be test optional for 3 years. So for the juniors, or even if there's any sophomores in the room, you don't necessarily have to worry about taking the SAT, but you can see the full policy about that on our website. And then I also like to point out the middle 50 percentile. So that's just, that's literally just the middle average. So there are obviously students that were below that, and there are obviously students who are above that. Okay, but that can at least give you a good idea of where students were at from this last year's class that applied, just to give you an idea. But again, that's just an average. Those aren't minimums by all means. And then last but not least, I feel like oh, good, you popped up, perfect timing. So I just can't ever tell. So there's my contact info, like the others gave their contact info, and there's our social media pages. So feel free to check those out. I am the representative for New Jersey, so please feel free to reach out to me directly. My email address is up there. You can take a screenshot, and I will share it in the chat as well. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. At this point in time, I'll ask all representatives if they want to turn their cameras on. We do have a few minutes to do a round robin question and answer here. And I do have a question for you all. So give me 1 second to share my screen. All right. So we're gonna kick it off, obviously in the presentation order we went in. So Caldwell University, you'll go first, but what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Hi again, everyone. I'm Amber once again. I would just tell you guys, well, first, I know that times are really different from before. So take the time out to, I would say, do your research thoroughly and remember that this is somewhere where you're going to be spending the next 4 years of your life. So do your research about the institution and make sure that you fit into the institution because every school is going to be different. Know what you want and make sure that's going to fit into the rest of your journey and make sure that you're going to be successful there and you'll get that job after you graduate because the goal is not only to get into school, the goal is to complete it and be successful years after.
Love it. Thank you so much, Amber. Rosemont College, what advice would you give?
I think definitely visit campus. I know like that's tough to do right now, but definitely visit campus virtually if you can. It's easier to do than in person, and it's really nice to make connections with the admissions staff. We encourage students to reach out to students in their program of study to try to make a connection there, and get to know as many people as you can on the campus. In addition to just the admissions staff, it goes a long way, and it really helps you build connections early on, and you feel at home once you get there.
Awesome, thank you. And by the way, if you all had any other questions that you wanted to ask specific universities, again, feel free to put in the Q&A in the last couple minutes that we do have here. Brock University, any advice?
Yeah, I'd probably want to echo Amber and just say, look for best fit. You're going to move to a new town or a new city where you're going to be for 4 years or maybe more. You're going to make connections there. And there's tons of different options. If you're looking for a small school, mid-sized, large school, public, private, religious, like the choice is yours. So really take this time to explore the options. And then my biggest piece of advice is that you don't have to go broke to get a good education. I know that some people think that the higher the price tag, the better something is, but that's not necessarily true when it comes to education. So don't necessarily get sucked into that trap.
Thank you so much. Washington and Jefferson College, what advice would you give?
I could give a whole presentation on this, but I do have two things. Number one, take ownership of your college search. Don't feel like you have to do it all alone. Literally, admission counselors' jobs is to help you figure out which college you want to go to. So that's probably my biggest thing. Second thing is to follow colleges on social media to help figure out what your list is going to be. As you unfollow colleges, you'll narrow down your list.
Thank you so much. Cedar Crest College.
My biggest piece of advice would be to ask questions. I feel like you're not going to truly know if a college is for you if you're just kind of quietly observing. I think really asking the admissions counselors, talking to the student ambassadors, connecting with the faculty and staff, that's really going to be the best way to get your questions answered and kind of overall figure out if this school is the right fit for you.
Awesome advice. And last but not least, UMass Amherst.
Yeah, I first of all just want to echo what everyone else already said. I probably would have said every single one of those things as well. And then just one thing to add is to just keep in mind that there's more than one college out there that will be a good fit for you. A lot of people think that there's just one school that they have to go to. I actually thought that when I was applying, and I didn't mention I'm an alum of UMass. And so there's a good fit for you at multiple different schools. So don't stress about it. It will always work out. It always does. If you don't get into your dream school, you'll find the right place for you.
Awesome advice, y'all. Thank you so much. With that said, I'm going to sort of start to wrap this up a little bit. Thank you all again so much for being here and attending. With that said, our universities and our colleges are here obviously to answer your questions. They have put their contact information and any other websites that they would like you to see within the chat function as well. But at this point in time, I would again just like to thank you all for being here. Again, your session is recorded, so within about a week or so, your session will be available to check out. There are more sessions that potentially are available, so feel free to sign up for those. And then in about a few minutes after this webinar ends, after you close your window, very quickly there will be a 4-question survey that will appear. So please fill that out to help us out. But other than that, thank you all so much, universities and colleges, and thank you attendees for coming. Have a great night, y'all. Thank you so much.